Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and tonight we're going to be taking a look at some recent dev updates. Now, I've held off on this for a little while, and there's a good reason why, but we'll get to that in just a minute. And then we're also going to take a look at a little bit of Marvel Strike Force in the news. But first, if you're just now finding my channel, consider hitting that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything Marvel Strike Force. All right, so let's go ahead and go through a bunch of this. So the reason why I haven't done a recent dev update, I think it's been a couple weeks since I have done a developer update. And the reason for that is because we really haven't gotten much information in the last few updates, and you're gonna see why I believe that. It's just we're not getting much meat. We're not getting any new information really. So we're gonna go through these fairly quickly. The last three dev updates, the one that came out today. We're going to take a look at the most recent Datamine, and then we're going to take a look at some Marvel Strike Force in the news on an article by Polygon. Some of you may have already seen it. So let's take a look at this QA mailbag. So that's really all this was on this QA mailbag, was just a few questions that have come from the community, and I think for the most part a lot of people already knew about this stuff. So you can see this on the Marvel Strike Force webpage. Go to the updates section. A question here, can we please get some insight on Fox's next thought around revamping nodes? And in here they talk about whenever they release a new character, they hold off on revamping the enemy characters in the nodes until they can go through and rebalance that. They know that it's not perfect, but it's something that they're working to improve. A question why Venom isn't cosmic, they just go into talking about because even though the symbiote is cosmic, Venom, he gets his power from his physical cellular structure, so that was the reasoning behind that. The Hulk buff essentially says, yep, we said it's coming. It's not here yet, but it will eventually. Thor's damage bonus from his Guardian allies be modified by Loki mirror image summons. So there was a concern about, or not a concern, but really just a question about that, and they said no, the bonuses are established on spawn, so the summons would not add to that bonus at all. Looks like the Gold Blitz is going to come back eventually, but they don't know when. And then when are we going to get the ability to save squads? And there's some good news there with the most recent data mine. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there really wasn't much here. It was a whole lot of yep, 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 and we don't know and we can't say anything. So I really didn't see the benefit of putting a video out on that alone. The next one, last week's, again, it's the same thing. They put the update out after Dark Dimension was released, and it was basically saying, hey, Dark Dimension is here. You have the Journey Begins. It's separated into two sections. You have Journey Begins, which requires 6-star squads, and then you have the next level to travel deeper into the Abyss, which requires gear tier 13. That was pretty much all this said. It does go into saying that you get Ultron, and cheating is something that we take very seriously. That was if you guys were taking a look at the leaderboards and stuff when the Dark Dimension came out, there were already people at 100%. So that has been all over Reddit, and a ton of tickets getting put in for that kind of stuff. So there's a response to that as well, and that came out today, and it was really just, again, saying, yes, we know that there's a concern. They're completely against cheaters and hacks, which every game really should be, right? Every developer really should be. And they just go into discussing their process. There's a detect, flag, and verify, which basically the system detects and flags players who they believe are cheating, and then they go manually in and verify that. And then once it's verified, they go ahead and they do a permanent ban on that character or that account. And then that's really it. And then the future is all about basically saying, can't really go into details on what's going to happen, but we're taking it seriously. So eventually they're going to get a more sophisticated detection system, it sounds like. And then goes into how we can help as a player base by submitting tickets, reporting online, providing the player name, player ID, time and date of the incident, and the reason for the report. And then there was a bug fix here where banned accounts were not being removed from the leaderboard of Dark Dimension, so they had to go in and manually remove them. That was really all this update. So again, the reason why I waited so long in order to put another dev update out is because there really wasn't much meat in here. There wasn't anything about new information on the dark, not on the dark, but on the Mutant Brotherhood. Nothing more about Alliance Wars or anything like that, which I'll be honest is a little confusing to me because they did a interview with Polygon that we're going to take a look at where they go and they talk about Alliance Wars. So I don't know why they wouldn't give us an update as well on their own update sites. So there you go. There are the updates for the last 3 weeks, or for the last 2 weeks, and then including today. So now what I really want to do is spend some time on the most recent Datamine. There's a couple things that I wanted to pull out that I thought was pretty cool. So there's something in there called Blitz for Treats. It's also a special one-time milestone, and it's just a special event where you use specific characters, and the more that you use these characters here, Crossbones, Iron Fist, Mordo, Mystique, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, and Venom, the more that you use them, then you get greater rewards. So right here, the more characters you use from the list above, the greater the rewards. Reaching all of the milestone levels is a team effort, so prepare your alliance for battle. So this is cool. It looks like another blitz that the whole alliance can get behind and work to get to these different rewards. Be really cool to see what those rewards are going to be. Shows that the start date's going to be October 27th and end on November 2nd. And before I go any further into the data mine, I do really want to just say that these data mines, they're not 100%. They can change quite a bit. Mystique was supposed to come out a couple weeks ago, and now we're not going to see her till Tuesday as far as replacing her in that villains node. So there's a lot of things that can change. So just take a lot of this with a grain of salt. I don't trust anything until I see it in game, in an announcement, in game, and then I put a little bit more credit behind it. But these are just some things that are pretty interesting that was found in the data mine. So there's that. As we all know, the Thanos raids popped up open today. The data mine also talks about Deadpool raids coming back as well. And those go until, I don't know, I think it said November 12th or something like that. So after this final Thanos raid, I'm sure we're going to get a final DP raid. So next we have another update here, and it's it talks about 3 new playable characters. So I think we all have some pretty good speculation on what those 3 characters are going to be: Pyro, Sabretooth, and Juggernaut. So it'd be interesting to see those characters in game, if those are in fact the characters that are going to be there. There's going to be a new event campaign and raid. In previous data mines, we've seen that there's an alpha raid and a beta raid, because those are supposed to alternate. Or at least that's my understanding of it. So we'll see how those go. Improved cheat detection coming up. New mutant achievement. We got save squads here. So this is what I was talking about earlier. It looks like we're going to be able to save our squads, which everybody's been screaming about, and for good reason. It's just it makes things easier. It's a quality of life thing for the game, right? And the other thing I thought was kind of cool to pull out and share with you, with everybody here, is just this this trick or treat. So apparently, on the Marvel Strike Force Facebook page, we're going to be able to vote for either Ronin or Black Widow. Ronin for the trick, Black Widow for the treat, and see what happens. So it'll be interesting to see if everybody all goes in and just tries to trick everybody with the Ronin shards, or if we'll actually get Black Widow out of it. That'll be pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Polygon interview. So you can see the URL up here. It's just on Polygon.com. And they did an interview with Fox Next. And there's a bunch of questions in there. They talk about how they handled things wrong in the beginning a couple months ago, and how they're trying to turn things around and everything. And there was a question here about the Alliance Wars, and this I thought was pretty cool. So Alliance Wars is a feature that they wanted to include in the launch version of the game, but when it came down to it, they just didn't have enough time to incorporate it. So it's something that they're going to incorporate in a closed beta test closer to the end of the year. So I know that there's some people out there who have access to a test server. So I don't know if it's that, or if it's going to be an official beta test where they say, hey, we're going to beta test this. If you want to be a part of it, then send us your information. I don't know how that's going to happen, but it'll be pretty cool. And then they hope to release it January, February timeframe. So we're not going to see Alliance Wars anytime soon. It's going to be a few months for that, which at this point is fine by me. We got enough to do in the game right now and keep up with everything. But it does sound pretty cool. If we just take a look at this article here, right now alliances work together to clear raids. It's a single social layer in an otherwise single-player game. But this Alliance Wars is really going to give the Alliance access to the helicarrier. And it says that there are 12 rooms total, so you have a med bay, for instance, that could heal over time to the rosters, not just a character, it looks like, to the whole roster. Different rooms are going to have different abilities that impact your teams and your alliance teams. And then once you've made your choices and set squads, you and another alliance are going to storm each other's helicarrier. So it seems a lot like Territory Wars, something that is over in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, that's been over there for quite a while. So it seems a lot like that, where instead of a field that you're battling on, you're going to be battling back and forth between the helicarriers. And then it says that the event cycles daily. It's going to require collaboration and communication, so I think it's going to bring alliances together a little bit more and really lean on preparing for these alliance wars and really have a strategy to attack it. And then, let's see, it says the most meta possible teams and heavy microtransactions to unlock. So there's going to be some cool stuff there to see. And then it's just one piece of upcoming content. And then they go into Dark Dimensions, which they already released. But they probably did this article before the Dark Dimensions even released. It just happened to come out when they released Dark Dimensions. There's the Alliance Wars little tidbit that I had promised you. It sounds pretty cool, very interesting. I can't wait to get in there. And I'm hoping that this beta test is something that they launch to everybody and we can go ahead and put our names in the hat and go ahead and try this out. So there you go, everybody. That's what I have for you tonight. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on the most recent dev updates? And really, I'm curious what your thoughts are as far as what the Datamine suggests are coming. Are you excited for these events? I'm sure everybody's excited for the Mutant Brotherhood. I know everybody probably wants Magneto, so I really want some information on what that event's going to look like. Because I'm really hoping it's something a little bit different than what we've currently seen. I'd like to see a little more variety in what we have going on. We've had these special event campaigns now for a little while, and I'd like to see some new stuff coming. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to let me know by hitting that like button and sharing your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.